Speak growing older is something every person experiences, but growing older with strength, purpose, and independence is much rarer. By the time someone reaches the age of 75, 80, or even 85, they and APOS already lived through decades of change, challenge, and triumph. They and APOS, they've witnessed history unfold, raised families, built careers, overcome hardships, and collected wisdom that simply cannot be learned from books. But here Andapos, something remarkable. Among people between the ages of 75 and 85, there is a small group that continues to surprise doctors, researchers, and even their own families. These individuals don't Andapos just live longer, they continue to thrive. They stay mentally sharp, emotionally resilient, physically active, and deeply connected to life. They often recover faster from setbacks, maintain their independence longer, and inspire everyone around them. So what makes them different? Is it superior genetics, expensive supplements, secret medications? Not necessarily. Increasingly, research suggests that daily habits play a far greater role than most people realize. The smallest routines, repeated consistently over many years, can have an enormous impact on how we age. Itandapos, not about perfection. Itandapos, about choosing behaviors that support the body and mind every single day. Today, we're going to explore 6 powerful habits that are surprisingly common among extraordinary seniors. If you andapos, or between 75 and 85, and you andapos are still doing these things, you andapos are already ahead of the curve. And if you andapos are younger, these habits can help shape a healthier future starting today. Some of these may seem simple at first glance, but don't andapos underestimate them. Their power comes from consistency, not complexity. As we go through each one, think about your own life. How many of these habits do you still practice? You might be pleasantly surprised because reaching your late 70s or 80s is nandapos, the finish line, itandapos, another chapter. And for many people, it can be one of the richest, most meaningful chapters of all. Latandapos, begin with the first habit, one that may be the strongest predictor of healthy aging, yet is often overlooked. You never stop moving, approx. 1,000 words. One of the most remarkable traits shared by exceptional adults between the ages of 75 and 85 is that they simply refuse to become sedentary. They may not run marathons or spend hours in a gym, but they keep moving every single day. Movement is medicine. Scientists have discovered that regular physical activity helps preserve muscle mass, strengthens bones, improves balance, supports heart health, and even protects the brain from cognitive decline. Many people assume that getting older automatically means becoming weaker. But the tandapos only part of the story. While aging naturally reduces muscle strength over time, inactivity accelerates the process dramatically. The seniors who age exceptionally well, donandapos, wait until they feel energetic to move. They move first, and energy often follows. This movement does nandapos have to be intense. A brisk walk around the neighborhood, working in the garden, climbing stairs instead of taking the elevator, stretching after waking up, playing with grandchildren, dancing to favorite songs. These everyday activities continually remind the body that itandapos still needed. Movement also improves circulation, delivering oxygen and nutrients throughout the body while helping remove waste products from cells. Perhaps even more importantly, physical activity stimulates the release of chemicals that improve mood, reduce stress, and sharpen memory. Doctors often say that sitting is the new smoking because prolonged inactivity affects nearly every organ system. Exceptional seniors rarely spend entire days sitting still. Even after meals, they often stand, tidy the house, water plants, or take a short walk. These small actions accumulate over weeks, months, and years. They help preserve independence. Getting out of a chair without assistance, speak, carrying groceries, maintaining balance, preventing dangerous falls, remaining confident while walking. These abilities determine quality of life far more than many people realize. Many centenarians interviewed around the world share one thing in common. They never intentionally exercise, but they remain physically active through meaningful daily tasks. Purposeful movement becomes part of life rather than a scheduled workout. And that's exactly why it lasts. If you're still moving daily between ages 75 and 85, you're doing something incredibly valuable for your future self. Your muscles are receiving the message to stay strong. Your heart continues adapting. Your brain receives increased blood flow. Your joints stay lubricated. Your confidence grows. The body rewards motion, and every step truly matters. Have you ever noticed that some people in their late 70s or 80s seem decades younger than their actual age? It's not always because they're physically stronger. Often, it's because they've never stopped being curious. One of the most remarkable habits shared by healthy, vibrant adults between the ages of 75 and 85 is their desire to keep learning. They continue asking questions, exploring new ideas, and challenging their minds instead of believing that learning ends after retirement. Many people think education belongs only to the young. They assume that once school is over and a career comes to an end, there's nothing left to learn. But science tells a very different story. Your brain is designed to adapt throughout your entire life. This incredible ability is known as neuroplasticity, which means the brain can continue forming new connections between nerve cells even in later years. While the process naturally slows with age, it never completely stops. Every time you learn a new skill, solve a problem, read something unfamiliar, or have a meaningful conversation, your brain builds and strengthens these connections. In other words, learning is like exercise for your mind. Think about what happens when you stop using a muscle. Over time, it becomes weaker. The same principle applies to the brain. If your days become repetitive and mentally unstimulating, your cognitive abilities may gradually decline faster than they need to. But the opposite is also true. When you regularly challenge your brain, you encourage it to stay active, flexible, and resilient. Researchers have repeatedly found that lifelong learners often experience better memory, stronger problem-solving skills, and a lower risk of cognitive decline compared to those who stop engaging their minds. The best part? You don't need to enroll in a university or spend hours studying complicated subjects. Simple daily activities can make a tremendous difference. Reading books or newspapers introduces your brain to new ideas and vocabulary. Completing crossword puzzles or Sudoku encourages logical thinking. Learning a few words of another language stimulates memory and concentration. Trying a new recipe requires planning, sequencing, and attention to detail. Even assembling a jigsaw puzzle strengthens visual processing and patience. Every one of these activities sends an important message to your brain. I'm still growing. Many extraordinary seniors also embrace technology instead of fearing it. Perhaps they learn how to use a smartphone, join a video call with grandchildren, organize family photos on a tablet, or explore educational videos online. At first, these tasks can feel confusing. There may be mistakes and moments of frustration, but that's exactly when the brain works hardest. Every challenge forces your mind to create new pathways. It's much like taking a different route home instead of driving the same road every day. New paths develop because you're asking your brain to solve fresh problems. Curiosity also keeps life exciting. Speak people who continue learning rarely become bored because they always find something fascinating to discover. One day it might be astronomy. The next day it could be gardening, perhaps itandapos, learning about history, cooking, photography, birds, painting, or music. The subject itself matters far less than the willingness to remain interested in the world. This sense of curiosity has another powerful benefit. It helps protect emotional health. When you end up learning something new, your attention shifts away from worries and toward possibilities. Instead of dwelling on limitations, you begin focusing on growth. That mindset can reduce stress and create a greater sense of purpose. Many psychologists believe curiosity is closely linked with optimism because curious people naturally look forward instead of constantly looking back. Another important habit among exceptional seniors is asking questions. Rather than pretending they already know everything, they remain open to new perspectives. They ask their doctors questions. They ask younger family members how new technology works. They ask friends about different experiences. They listen more than they speak. This openness creates stronger relationships while continually expanding their understanding of the world. Conversations themselves are powerful brain exercises. When you engage in meaningful discussions, your brain must remember information, organize thoughts, choose appropriate words, and respond in real time. These complex mental processes activate multiple areas of the brain simultaneously. Thandapos, one reason socially active seniors often maintain sharper thinking skills. Storytelling offers similar benefits. Sharing memories with grandchildren or friends is nandapos, just enjoyable. Itandapos, mentally stimulating. Recalling names, places, dates, and emotions strengthens memory networks while preserving personal identity. Many older adults discover that teaching others becomes another valuable way to keep learning. Whether itandapos, showing someone how to cook a family recipe, explaining woodworking techniques, sharing gardening advice, or passing down life lessons. Teaching requires organizing knowledge in new ways. Ironically, one of the best ways to learn is by helping someone else learn. Reading remains one of the simplest and most effective habits for lifelong brain health. Books transport us to different cultures, introduce unfamiliar ideas, and encourage imagination. Even reading for just 20 or 30 minutes each day can improve concentration while keeping the mind engaged. Audiobooks can provide similar benefits for those with vision difficulties. The goal is nandapos speed, itandapos consistency. Learning also builds confidence. Every new skill reminds you that age does not define your ability to grow. Maybe you andapos have never used email before, but today you send your first message. Maybe you andapos have always wanted to paint, so you pick up a brush for the first time at age 80. Perhaps you finally learned to grow tomatoes successfully after years of trying. These victories may seem small, but they send a powerful psychological message. And quote, I am still capable. And quote. That confidence often spreads into other areas of life, encouraging people to remain independent and active. Perhaps the greatest lesson curious seniors teach us is that life never stops offering opportunities to grow. They understand that every day holds the possibility of discovering something new, meeting someone interesting, or developing another skill. Instead of saying, "And quoi, yandapos, I'm too old for that quote," they ask, "And quoi, why not give it a try? And quoi?" That single question can transform the aging experience. So, if yandapos ray between 75 and 85, and you still enjoy reading, asking questions, learning new skills, exploring hobbies, solving puzzles, or simply remaining curious about the world around you, you andapos ray doing something truly extraordinary. You andapos ray not just collecting information, speak you andapos, or actively strengthening your brain, nurturing your confidence, protecting your memory, and proving that the human spirit never has an expiration date, and that lifelong curiosity may be one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as you continue writing the next chapter of your life. As we grow older, itandapos, easy to focus on physical health, our heart, our muscles, our bones, or our blood pressure. But their andapos is another part of healthy aging that often receives far less attention, even though it may be just as important. Itandapos are relationships. If you andapos, right between the ages of 75 and 85, and you andapos, manage to maintain close connections with family, friends, neighbors, or your community, you andapos, right doing something truly extraordinary. These relationships, donandapos, just make life more enjoyable. They can actually help you live longer, think more clearly, and feel happier every day. For decades, scientists have studied what contributes to a long and healthy life. Again and again, one factor rises to the top: meaningful social connections. Itandapos, not about having hundreds of friends or attending every social event. Instead, itandapos, about having people you can trust, laugh with, and lean on during difficult times. Human beings are naturally social creatures. From the moment we andapos were born, our lives are shaped by the relationships around us. As children, we depend on our parents. As adults, we build friendships, marriages, families, and communities. These connections give us a sense of belonging and purpose, but as we age, maintaining those relationships can become more challenging. Children grow up and move away. Friends relocate or pass on. Retirement changes daily routines. Health issues may make traveling more difficult. Little by little, social circles can become smaller. Unfortunately, loneliness has become one of the greatest hidden challenges facing older adults. Researchers have found that chronic loneliness does not just affect emotional well-being. It can also impact physical health. Long-term isolation has been associated with higher levels of stress hormones, increased inflammation, poorer sleep, higher blood pressure, and a greater risk of depression and cognitive decline. In many ways, prolonged loneliness affects the body more than most people realize that, and apos why exceptional seniors make relationships a priority. They don't andapos wait for people to contact them. They make the first phone call. They invite neighbors over for coffee. They attend community gatherings. They participate in church groups, volunteer organizations, hobby clubs, or exercise classes. Even a short conversation at the grocery store or while walking through the neighborhood helps maintain a sense of connection. These interactions may seem small, but together they create a powerful support system. One of the most beautiful aspects of aging is the wisdom that comes from experience. Older adults have stories that younger generations desperately need to hear. The lessons learned from decades of work, raising children, overcoming hardships, and celebrating life andapos, victories become priceless gifts when the Andapos race shared. Many grandparents don Andapos realize how deeply their stories influence younger family members. A simple conversation about childhood memories, family traditions, or overcoming difficult times can leave a lasting impression on grandchildren. These moments strengthen family bonds while preserving family history. And something remarkable happens during these conversations. The older adult is Nandapos, just giving wisdom. The Andapos are also receiving something equally valuable: attention, appreciation, affection, a reminder that they still matter. That feeling of being needed is incredibly important for emotional health. Strong relationships also encourage healthier behaviors. Think about it. Friends often remind each other about Dr. Andapos appointments. Family members encourage healthy meals. Neighbors notice when something seems wrong. Speak. Loved ones celebrate progress after surgery or illness. Having supportive people around creates accountability without pressure. Many seniors recover more successfully from illness because they have caring people encouraging them every step of the way. Laughter is another powerful medicine found in healthy relationships. We Andapos all experience moments when a good laugh instantly lifts our mood, but laughter does much more than make us smile. It relaxes muscles, reduces stress hormones, improves circulation, stimulates the release of feel-good chemicals called endorphins. And for a few wonderful moments, it allows us to forget our worries. The Tandapos, why Yomandapos, often notice vibrant older adults laughing with friends, telling stories, and enjoying simple conversations. Joy is contagious. So is kindness. One act of kindness often inspires another. Exceptional seniors understand that relationships are Andapos only about receiving support. They and Apos are also about giving it, helping a friend with errands, calling someone who and Apos feeling lonely, baking cookies for a neighbor, volunteering at a local organization, sending a birthday card. These small acts remind people that they still have something valuable to contribute, and contribution creates purpose. Purpose creates happiness. Another quality shared by emotionally healthy older adults is forgiveness. Over the course of 75 or 80 years, everyone experiences disappointment. Arguments happen. Mistakes are made. People say things they regret. Holding on to every hurt for decades becomes an enormous emotional burden. The seniors who age with grace often choose peace over resentment. That does Nandapos mean forgetting painful experiences or pretending everything was acceptable. It simply means refusing to let bitterness control the rest of their lives. Forgiveness frees emotional energy that can be invested in healthier relationships. Strong relationships also require listening. Many people think good conversation is about saying the right words. In reality, a Tandapos is often about giving someone your full attention. Listening carefully shows respect. It tells another person, and quote, you matter, and quote. This simple act deepens trust and strengthens emotional bonds. Technology has also opened new opportunities for connection. Video calls allow grandparents to watch grandchildren grow, even when they live hundreds of miles apart. Family group chats make it easier to share photos, celebrate birthdays, and stay involved in everyday life. Social media, when used thoughtfully, can reconnect old friends who haven't spoken in years. While technology can never replace a warm hug, or sitting together around the dinner table. It can help bridge distances that once seemed impossible. Of course, relationships are not always perfect. There will be disagreements, misunderstandings, busy schedules, unexpected changes. But extraordinary seniors understand that perfection, ISN, and APOS require consistency is a 5-minute phone call, a weekly lunch with a friend, a monthly family gathering. These simple routines become the threads that keep relationships strong over time. Perhaps the greatest gift of meaningful relationships is hope. When someone knows others care about them, difficult days become easier to face. Health challenges become less frightening. Loss becomes easier to bear. Life feels richer because itandapos shared. In the end, people rarely remember how clean the house was or how much money was in the bank. They remember conversations, family dinners, road trips, holiday celebrations, shared laughter, comfort during difficult times. These are the memories that give life its deepest meaning. So, if itandapos were between the ages of 75 and 85, and you still nurture your friendships, spend time with family, enjoy conversations, help your neighbors, or make an effort to stay connected with others, itandapos were practicing one of the most powerful habits of healthy aging. Speak. Speak, because a long life is a wonderful gift. But a long life filled with love, friendship, kindness, and meaningful relationships, that is truly one of a kind. One of the biggest differences between seniors who simply grow older and those who continue to thrive well into their late 70s and 80s often comes down to one simple question. Why do they eat what they eat? Many people eat out of habit. They eat because itandapos, breakfast time. They eat because the itandapos, bored. They finish everything on their plate because the itandapos, how they were raised. Or they reach for whatever is quick and convenient without giving it much thought. But extraordinary adults between the ages of 75 and 85 often approach food differently. They eat with intention. They understand that every meal is an opportunity to nourish their body, protect their health, and support their independence. Food is no longer just about satisfying hunger. Itandapos, about fueling a life they still want to enjoy. Modern research continues to show that nutrition plays a major role in healthy aging. While no single food can stop the aging process, the right eating habits can help reduce inflammation, support heart health, maintain muscle strength, protect brain function, and strengthen the immune system. In other words, the foods you choose every day become the building blocks your body uses to repair itself. Think of your body like a home that has stood for many decades. After 75 or 80 years, regular maintenance becomes more important than ever. If you continue using quality materials, the home stays strong. If you neglect it, small problems can gradually become much larger ones. The same principle applies to your body. One habit shared by many exceptional seniors is filling their plates with colorful foods, bright green spinach, deep red tomatoes, orange carrots, purple berries, yellow peppers. These vibrant colors are itandapos, just beautiful. The itandapos are often signs of natural compounds called antioxidants and phytonutrients that help protect cells from everyday damage. Over time, our bodies experience itandapos, known as oxidative stress, a natural process that can contribute to aging and certain chronic diseases. Eating a wide variety of colorful fruits and vegetables helps your body defend itself against this damage. Another important habit is making protein a priority. As we age, maintaining muscle becomes more difficult. In fact, adults naturally lose muscle mass over time, especially if the adipose or inactive or non-adipose eat enough protein. This gradual loss can make everyday activities like climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or getting up from a chair much more challenging. The adipose, why many healthy older adults include a good source of protein with every meal. This might include fish, eggs, beans, lentils, yogurt, cottage cheese, chicken, turkey, tofu, or other protein-rich foods. Combined with regular movement, protein helps the body repair tissues and preserve the strength needed for independent living. Healthy fats are another important part of intentional eating. For years, many people feared all fats, believing they should avoid them completely. Today, we know the story is more balanced. Certain fats are actually essential for good health. Foods like avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and fatty fish provide nutrients that support the heart and brain. These healthy fats also help the body absorb important vitamins and may contribute to feeling satisfied after meals. Exceptional seniors also tend to pay attention to portion sizes. They don't necessarily follow strict diets or count every calorie. Instead, they listen to their bodies. They eat until they feel comfortably satisfied, not overly full. This simple habit becomes increasingly important with age because digestion often changes over time. Eating more slowly can also make a remarkable difference. When meals become rushed, itandapos, easy to eat more than the body actually needs, but slowing down allows the brain enough time to recognize fullness. It also transforms eating into something more enjoyable. Many long-lived cultures around the world share this habit. Meals are not treated as interruptions. They're treated as moments to appreciate good food and good company. Hydration is another habit that's often overlooked. As people grow older, the sensation of thirst naturally becomes weaker. This means many seniors may become mildly dehydrated without realizing it. Even mild dehydration can affect energy levels, concentration, balance, and mood. That's why many healthy older adults make drinking water a regular habit instead of waiting until they feel thirsty. Some also enjoy herbal teas, milk, or water-rich foods like cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, and soups to help maintain healthy hydration. Another quality shared by extraordinary seniors is moderation. They don't believe every favorite food has to disappear forever. Instead of thinking, if you've made it this far, take a moment to reflect. How many of these 6 habits are already part of your life? Maybe you're still taking daily walks. Maybe you enjoy learning new things, staying connected with loved ones, eating nourishing foods, living with purpose, or practicing gratitude each day. If so, give yourself credit. These aren't just good habits. They're powerful investments in your health, independence, and quality of life. And if there are 1 or 2 areas where you'd like to improve, remember this: it's never too late to start. Small changes, repeated consistently, can make a meaningful difference at any age. Healthy aging isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these 6 habits do you still practice every day? Share your answer in the comments below. Your experience could inspire someone else who is on the same journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend or family member who would enjoy it. You never know whose life a simple message of encouragement might brighten. And if you enjoy evidence-based tips on healthy aging, longevity, nutrition, and living your healthiest life, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Stay active, stay curious, stay grateful. And remember, growing older is a privilege, but growing older well is a choice you make every single day. We'll see you in the next video. Speak growing